this is informal. Again, this is another thing. We're talking with Amy Dickey and Brooke Drinkle about female participation in racquetball, specifically in the INSRA. It's actually increased. We've had some increase in the last tournament. It was 23% female participation out of all the entrants anyway. So what do you guys think about that? And either one of you can start if you'd like.
Go ahead first. All right, I'll start. I guess one of the big things on the women's side is not only not having enough women to play, but across all the divisions and building up each of those levels all the way through. So I think one of the things that we're seeing with this increased participation is the depth is also forming there as well. So it's not just the open A players up at the top and then some people just starting. We're building up in between, and we're all networking, we're all trying to play each other outside of the tournaments. So I think it's building, and I think that's where you're seeing it, is in the increased participation in tournaments. What's the percentage this tournament, 25?
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's a good increase. I mean, we'll have to ask Ryan. But what do you think, Amy? I mean, it's definitely a good thing.
I think she pretty much covered everything. That's a very thorough answer. But I would have to completely agree. I think a lot of people were hesitant to play because it was either the open or A players or it was the novice players. And I think that it's absolutely true that we have more intermediate players now, but I think that all of us are improving also because we are playing some of the more challenging players, so it's helping our game too.
And one of the things we were talking about with some of the other ladies too is just the whole social networking side of things. The stuff that you're doing on YouTube, Instagram, getting out there, and then Facebook has been phenomenal because we're all connected on Facebook, and that's how we're able to set up some of these outside of the tournament connections. And you know, sometimes when you sign up for a tournament, you don't really know who's playing or what they're doing until you see you show up on R2. Well, now we kind of are all talking ahead of time.
Valerie George told me once that you two are really fired up. You two specifically, and you do. You're all smiles when you come here. You guys both love to come to these tournaments. It's not something that you've told me, but it's something I've observed. Both of you really enjoy this kind of thing. I mean, and what would you say to someone who's thinking about it? I mean, you guys are really having a good time, so it's pretty obvious that it is a good time to come here. What would you say to somebody that's a female that, yes, we have other friends too. That was your tournament director there, by the way, of course. That's part of the fun too. You joke around with folks. But I mean, what would your sales pitch to be to any other females that would want to, who aren't playing, that would like to play, learn the sport, play tournaments? What do you think?
I would say for your local clubs, just get involved. If you see somebody hanging around the courts and they just have an interest, just invite them to play with you. And I think that's where you'll start to see participation growing in these tournaments, is if you start at the local level first. And then once they start feeling more comfortable, you know, encourage them to get in there and start playing in these tournaments. And before they know it, you know, they're going to be playing B's, A's, probably surpass us. So yeah, just kind of just be open to it. We have a ton of fun here, and I'm so glad I did it. So no regrets here.
Great.
And I would say the exact same thing. You know, a lot is said about how great racquetball is, how wonderful it is, just mental outlet, exercise, all of that. So I make those same arguments, but you can verbally make the argument, but until you drag somebody on the court and they get that hook in them, that's the winner right there. So I try to do my best to just try it once. And what's beautiful is, you know, the first part you play, not so good, but by the time you walk off the court, even the first night you ever play, you already feel improvement in your game, especially if you're on there with somebody that's helping you. So that's really the key there is, you know, don't be afraid to get on there because you're gonna reap the benefits. And I think it's up to a lot of us to grab those people on there. Yeah. It's everybody's hesitant to try something new. It's really, but they're open to it. You might not know they're open to it.
Well, and it's an empowering thing. People don't realize they can do something until they actually do it and try it. I mean, you think, well, I'm not an athlete. Well, you never know, right?
Well, the thing is, I didn't even start playing racquetball until I was in my early 20s, maybe almost mid-20s. So it's not a sport that I grew up with, but it's a sport that I've grown to love. And I I can't imagine not playing, to be honest. So I would say you're never too old to play and to get into the sport. So let's give it a try.
Exactly. And I think you'll hear, we were talking with some of the other ladies that we met for the first time at the last tournament. Same, like locker room talk, same stories from all of them too. So,
we've all been there.
Yeah, we've all been there. Still there, really.
All right. Anything else you two would like to add on the subject?
No, I think hopefully that's good enough.
No, you got
we really could go on and on about it
Oh,
because
yeah.
I think we both really love it. It's something that of all the things I know I've done in my life, this is something I kind of found on my own, felt embraced right away, and just able to grow with it, and to have something like that to actually do and say you accomplished has been really nice and rewarding.